Did you know that Russia is so immense it spans 11 time zones, borders 14 countries, and stretches from the walls of Europe to the shores of the Pacific? That at its heart lies a lake so deep it holds 1/5 of all the fresh water on Earth? And that beneath its soil sleep entire cities, secret tunnels, and subway lines so deep they could withstand a nuclear war? Russia is not just snow and vodka, it is a giant of contrasts where nature and history intertwine on a colossal scale. Get ready, because today you'll discover 50 astonishing facts about Russia that will forever change the way you see this colossal nation. 50. Lake Baikal, the deepest and oldest lake on Earth. Lake Baikal in southern Siberia is a geological giant, the deepest lake on Earth at 1,642 meters and the oldest freshwater lake estimated at about 25 million years. It contains around 20% of the planet's unfrozen freshwater, more than all the North American Great Lakes combined. Its water clarity is legendary. In winter, you can see 40 meters beneath the ice. Baikal is also home to countless unique species, including the Baikal seal, one of the world's only freshwater seals. Any exploration of Russia's geography naturally begins with this ancient, otherworldly basin. 49. Mount Elbrus, the roof of Europe. Mount Elbrus, rising 5,642 meters in the western Caucasus, is Europe's highest peak and a prominent member of the Seven Summit. Though a dormant stratovolcano, its slopes are permanently icy and weather can shift violently. Cable cars and snowcats make guided ascents more accessible than other major peaks, yet Elbrus remains deceptively dangerous. With its twin summits and sweeping ridges, it dominates the Caucasus Range and stands as one of Russia's most iconic natural landmarks. 48. The Siberian taiga, the world's largest forest. Russia's vast taiga is the largest forest on Earth, stretching thousands of kilometers across the northern hemisphere. Bigger than the entire United States, this boreal wilderness of pines, spruces, and larches feels almost endless. Wildlife such as brown bears, moose, lynx, and wolves roam expanses so remote that many areas remain scarcely mapped. Standing alone within this silence and immensity is like stepping into a world nearly untouched by humanity. 47. The Kamchatka Peninsula, land of fire and ice. Kamchatka, on Russia's far eastern edge, contains more than 300 volcanoes, including 29 active ones, making it one of the world's most dramatic volcanic zones. Klyuchevskaya Sopka, the tallest active volcano in Eurasia, rises here alongside glaciers, geysers, and pristine alpine valleys. The famous Valley of Geysers is the second largest geyser field on Earth. With no road connection to mainland Russia, Kamchatka remains remarkably wild, an untouched landscape where fire, ice, and wildlife coexist on a monumental scale. 46. The Lena Pillars, towers of stone in the Siberian wilderness. Along the Lena River in Yakutia stand the Lena Pillars, towering formations of limestone and dolomite that formed about 530 million years ago. These vertical cliffs stretch for kilometers and resemble a colossal stone fortress rising from the forest. Reaching them usually requires a long river journey through remote Siberia, but their scale and stark beauty make the effort unforgettable. UNESCO recognized the pillars in 2012 as one of the world's most extraordinary natural monuments. Before continuing, be sure to subscribe and leave a like to become an expert on the geography of our world. 45. The Volga River, Europe's longest waterway. The mighty Volga River stretches more than 3,500 kilometers, making it the longest river in Europe. It starts in the Valdai Hills northwest of Moscow and winds its way through central Russia before emptying into the Caspian Sea. For centuries, the Volga has been the lifeline of Russian civilization. Villages, medieval cities, and modern industrial hubs all grew along its banks. Today, the Volga remains a major route for transportation, energy, and tourism, often called the Mother Volga in local folklore. Its vast reservoir system forms some of the largest artificial lakes in the world, and its delta is a rich habitat for birds and fish, including the famous Caspian sturgeon. 44. The Ural Mountains, natural border between Europe and Asia. The Ural Mountains stretch over 2,500 kilometers from the Arctic Ocean down to Kazakhstan, forming the traditional boundary between Europe and Asia. They're not particularly high. Most peaks range between 1,000 and 1,000, 500 meters, but their geological significance is enormous. These mountains are some of the oldest on Earth, dating back up to 300 million years. The Urals are rich in minerals. Iron ore, copper, precious stones, and even gold have been mined here for centuries. Traveling through the Urals means crossing from one continent to another simply by walking a few paces, yet the landscape around you hardly changes at all, a reminder that human boundaries mean little to nature. 43. The White Sea, a frozen gateway to the Arctic. The White Sea, part of the Arctic Ocean, is surrounded entirely by Russian territory and remains frozen for much of the year. It has served as a crucial trade and exploration route since medieval times. Historically, the city of Arkhangelsk on its coast was Russia's main port before St. Petersburg existed. The sea is dotted with islands, the most famous being Solovetsky Islands, home to a massive 15th century monastery complex. During polar nights, the White Sea becomes one of Russia's best places to witness the northern lights, reflecting across the frozen surface in green and violet ribbons. 42. The Kaliningrad Exclave, Russia's westernmost territory. Between Poland and Lithuania lies Kaliningrad, a small fragment of Russia separated from the mainland. Formerly known as Königsberg, it was part of East Prussia until the end of World War II. Today, Kaliningrad is an unusual mix of Russian, German, and Baltic influences. It is geographically closer to Berlin than Moscow, and its coastline on the Baltic Sea includes the stunning Curonian Spit, a 8-kilometer-long sand dune that extends into Lithuania and forms one of the most unique coastal landscapes in the world. Kaliningrad also houses the world's largest amber deposits, earning it the nickname the Amber Capital. 41. The Republic of Tuva, geographic center of Asia. Deep in southern Siberia lies Tuva, a region known for throat singing, nomadic traditions, and dramatic mountain landscapes. But one of its lesser-known distinctions is that it contains what many geographers calculate to be the geographical center of Asia. Marked by a monument near Kyzyl, the regional capital, this symbolic point lies amid vast steppes and mountains. Tuva's rugged terrain, part taiga, part desert, part alpine, creates one of Russia's most varied environments within a relatively small area. This remote republic beautifully reflects the intersection of cultures, landscapes, and ancient traditions. 40. The Sakha Republic, a land of extreme temperature swings. The Sakha Republic, also known as Yakutia, covers an area roughly the size of India but has a population of less than 1 million people. It holds some of the most extreme temperature differences ever recorded. In winter, the towns of Oymyakon and Verkhoyansk regularly plunge below 50 degrees Celsius, making them among the coldest permanently inhabited places on Earth. Yet, in summer, temperatures can rise above 30 degrees Celsius, creating an astonishing annual temperature swing of more than 80 degrees. Permafrost dominates the landscape, shaping everything from building techniques to the appearance of unique geological features like Pingo Hills. 39. Lake Ladoga, Europe's largest lake. Not far from St. Petersburg lies Lake Ladoga, the largest lake in Europe, covering over 17,700 square kilometers. Its dozens of islands include the famous Valam archipelago, known for its monastery and serene landscapes. During World War II, Ladoga became a lifeline for the city of Leningrad. When the Germans encircled the city, a supply route across the frozen lake, known as the Road of Life, allowed food and medicine to reach millions trapped inside. Today, Ladoga serves as both a historical symbol and a vast natural reservoir teeming with fish, including salmon and whitefish. 38. The Putorana Plateau, a staircase of ancient lava. Hidden deep in northern Siberia is the Putorana Plateau, a remote basalt landscape carved by thousands of waterfalls and fjord-like lakes. Formed by massive volcanic eruptions around 250 million years ago, the plateau consists of stepped cliffs and deep canyons stretching across an area the size of the United Kingdom. Lake Vivi, located here, is one of the sources of the mighty Yenisei River. The region is so isolated that large portions have never been permanently settled. Its combination of untouched tundra, waterfalls, and ancient lava formations earned it a UNESCO World Heritage designation. 37. The Caspian Sea coastline, Russia's lowest point. The Caspian Sea, the largest enclosed inland body of water in the world, is bordered by Russia in the north. What makes it geographically striking is that its surface lies about 28 meters below sea level, making it one of the lowest dryland points on Earth. Russia's Caspian region includes vast steppe landscapes, wetlands, and the delta of the Volga River. The area is rich in oil, gas, and biodiversity, including rare species like the Caspian seal. The coastline also provides a warm, almost subtropical contrast to Russia's colder northern and central regions. 36. The Altai Mountains, a meeting point of four nations. At the crossroads of Russia, China, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan rise the rugged Altai Mountains. These peaks are not the highest in the world, but their beauty is striking. Turquoise glacial lakes, rolling green valleys, and snow-capped summits. Mount Beluga, the highest peak in Siberia at 4,506 meters, is considered sacred in local traditions. The Altai region is also an archaeological treasure trove, with ancient petroglyphs, Scythian burial mounds, and even remarkably preserved mummies discovered in the permafrost. Its diverse habitats support snow leopards, ibex, and golden eagles. 35. The Kuril Islands, a volcanic chain between worlds. Stretching from Japan to Kamchatka, the Kurils are a volcanic island arc shaped by plate collisions. Many islands have active volcanoes, hot springs, and steaming craters. Nutrient-rich currents make the surrounding seas teeming with life. Geologically young and constantly reshaped by quakes and eruptions, the Kurils' misty peaks rise sharply from the ocean. The islands are also part of a long-standing Russia-Japan dispute, but their dramatic landscapes are the real story. 34. Lake Onega, home of the Kiji wooden marvels. Lake Onega, Europe's second-largest lake, hosts Kiji Island and its wooden wonders. The Kiji Pogost, especially the 22-domed Church of the Transfiguration, was built in the 18th century without nails. Its layered domes of aspen shingles reflect on the lake like folklore made real. Kiji embodies northern Russia's craftsmanship amid Onega's wide, quiet waters. 33. The Yenisei River, one of the longest on the planet. Running over 5,500 kilometers from Mongolia to the Arctic, the Yenisei is a Siberian giant. It powers major hydro stations and threads landscapes from mountains to endless taiga. Near Krasnoyarsk, the dramatic Stolby pillars overlook its middle reaches. The Yenisei stitches together ecosystems and settlements across vast distances. 32. The Chukchi Peninsula, Russia's easternmost point. Just 86 kilometers from Alaska across the Bering Strait, the Chukchi Peninsula is Russia's eastern edge. Home to the Chukchi people, its tundra and Arctic coasts support reindeer herding, coastal hunting, and rich marine wildlife walruses, polar bears, and migrating whales. Cape Dezhnev marks the battered, storm-swept edge of Eurasia. 31. The Golden Mountains of Altai, a UNESCO ice and steppe wonderland. The Golden Mountains of Altai combine glaciers, alpine meadows, river valleys, and open steppe. This UNESCO site includes Lake Teletskoye, the Katun Valley, and sacred Mount Beluga. Biomes blend here tundra, forest, steppe, supporting high biodiversity and ancient petroglyphs that testify to millennia of human presence. 30. The Ob River, a giant flowing through the heart of Siberia. The Ob stretches about 3,600 plus km across western Siberia to the Arctic, forming one of the world's largest river systems with the Irtysh. It freezes for months, creating winter roads, then thaws into dramatic spring floods that refuel wetlands. Its vast basin supports migratory birds, sturgeon, and extensive, largely untouched ecosystems, making the Ob a central lifeline of Siberia. 29. The Don River and the steppe of southern Russia. Flowing through the historical heartland of the Cossacks, the Don River has shaped culture and settlement in southern Russia for centuries. Stretching 1,870 kilometers, it winds through fertile steppe plains and meets the Sea of Azov near Rostov-on-Don. The Don Steppe was once a corridor for nomadic tribes moving between Europe and Asia, and its open landscapes still feel boundless today. The river's basin has also been a key agricultural zone thanks to its rich soils and moderate climate. The Don isn't the longest or widest in Russia, but its role as a cultural frontier and geographical link between civilizations gives it outsized importance. 28. The city of Sochi and the subtropical Russian Riviera. Many people don't associate Russia with palm trees, but the city of Sochi on the Black Sea coast enjoys a humid subtropical climate. Winters are mild, summers are hot, and citrus trees grow freely along the seaside. Behind the city rise the Caucasus Mountains, meaning Sochi uniquely combines beaches with snow-capped peaks visible in the distance. This unusual climatic mix made Sochi the host city of the 2014 Winter Olympics, where world-class skiing areas coexist just a short drive from the coastline. Known as Russia's Riviera, Sochi is one of the country's most geographically surprising locations. 27. The enormous Wrangel Island, land of the polar bears. Off Russia's far northeastern coast lies Wrangel Island, a place so remote and untouched that it feels like a living prehistoric refuge. It has the highest density of polar bear dens anywhere on Earth and serves as a major birthing ground for the species. The island also hosts vast colonies of walruses and migratory birds. Its tundra blooms with wildflowers in summer despite the harsh climate. Wrangel's isolation protected it from human development, earning it a UNESCO World Heritage status for its exceptional biodiversity and scientific importance. Few places on the planet remain as wild and ecologically intact as Wrangel Island. 26. The Kola Peninsula, gateway to the Arctic Murmansk. In Russia's far northwest, the Kola Peninsula pushes deep into the Arctic Circle, yet thanks to the warm North Atlantic current, its port city Murmansk remains ice-free year-round. Murmansk is the largest city north of the Arctic Circle and a vital hub for Arctic shipping, research, and fishing. The peninsula itself is dotted with tundra landscapes, rocky hills, and thousands of lakes carved by ancient glaciers. It is also home to the Lovosiro Massif, where rare minerals like loperite and eudialyte are mined. The region offers a surreal mix of polar nights, northern lights, and unexpected industrial activity in one of the coldest parts of Europe. 25. The Russian Arctic National Park, a frozen archipelago. High in the Arctic Ocean, the Russian Arctic National Park protects the Franz Josef Land archipelago and surrounding waters. This polar wilderness is dominated by glaciers, ice domes, and rugged cliffs. It is one of the last strongholds for Arctic species. Polar bears, narwhals, beluga whales, walruses, and countless seabirds thrive here. The islands, which were discovered relatively late in the 19th century, still feel barely touched by human presence. With wandering icebergs and year-round snowfields, Franz Josef Land showcases the raw power and beauty of Russia's polar territories. 24. The Kuznetsk-Alatau Mountains, Siberia's overlooked range. While the Altai and Urals often get the spotlight, the Kuznetsk-Alatau is an underrated Siberian mountain range filled with sharp ridges, broad valleys, and dense coniferous forests. These mountains are particularly rich in mineral resources. Iron, manganese, copper, and gold have all been mined here. But beyond industry, the region is a haven for wildlife like lynx, sable, and wolverines. Its slopes capture Siberia's wild essence, with crystal rivers cutting through granite landscapes in a rugged, remote environment seldom visited by outsiders. 23. The city of Yakutsk, built on permafrost. Located deep in the Sakha Republic, Yakutsk is famous for being the coldest major city in the world. Winter temperatures often drop below 40 degrees Celsius, and yet more than 300,000 people live here. The entire city sits atop permafrost, meaning buildings must be constructed on stilts to prevent the heat from melting the frozen ground beneath them. Summer brings a rapid but short-lived thaw, turning the surrounding area into a mix of mud, wildflowers, and mosquitoes. Yakutsk demonstrates how human settlement can adapt to one of the harshest environments on the planet. 22. The Taimyr Peninsula, northernmost mainland point of Eurasia. The Taimyr Peninsula extends deep into the Arctic, making it the northernmost mainland region of the Eurasian continent. This peninsula is home to the Pudorana Plateau on one side and the world's largest reindeer herd on the other. The climate is so severe that snow can fall even in July. Its geography includes endless tundra, frozen lakes, and rugged coastlines that meet the Kara Sea and Laptev Sea. The Great Arctic State Nature Reserve, the biggest protected area in Russia, extends across parts of Taimyr, sheltering polar foxes, snowy owls, and Arctic wolves. 21. The Yenisei Gulf and the Kara Sea Ice Realm. Where the Yenisei River meets the Kara Sea lies a world of drifting ice sheets, polar winds, and one of the most remote coastal regions on Earth. The Yenisei Gulf. This vast estuary freezes solid each winter, turning its thousands of square kilometers into a frozen desert. The mixing of freshwater and salty Arctic waters creates unique ecological conditions supporting both marine mammals and migratory birds. It is one of the places where the changing climate is most apparent, as the ice season grows shorter each decade. Yet, even in the dead of winter, the Gulf remains a geographical marvel at the edge of the world. 20. The Caucasus Mineral Waters Region, Russia's natural spa belt. In the foothills of the Caucasus lies the Caucasus Mineral Waters Region, famous for its naturally carbonated and mineral-rich springs. Towns like Pyatigorsk, Kislovodsk, and Essentuki grew around wells containing CO2, hydrogen sulfide, and other elements long believed to have therapeutic value. These waters made the area Russia's leading spa destination in the 19th and 20th centuries. Surrounded by volcanic formations, caves, and mountain plateaus, the region blends scenic beauty with geothermal heritage. 19. The Sayan Mountains, where Siberia meets Mongolia. The western and eastern Sayan ranges form a rugged border between Siberia and Mongolia. Their granite peaks, glaciers, and high-altitude lakes create one of the region's most dramatic alpine landscapes. Indigenous groups such as the Tuvans and Buryats have lived in the surrounding valleys for centuries, maintaining deep cultural ties to the land. Bears, wolves, and snow leopards roam its slopes, and the mountains shape the climate boundary between taiga forests and the Mongolian steppe. 18. The Volga Delta, Europe's largest river delta. Where the Volga meets the Caspian Sea, it forms Europe's largest delta, a maze of channels, marshes, and reed beds. This wetland supports thousands of bird species, including pelicans, flamingos, and herons. Traditional fishing villages still line the waterways, preserving old methods of river life. Lush and humid in summer, the delta feels like a hidden oasis set against surrounding semi-arid landscapes. 17. The Kuznetsk Basin, one of the world's richest coal fields. The Kuznetsk Basin, or Kuzbas, in southwestern Siberia is one of the world's largest coal-producing regions, formed from ancient swamps compressed into vast seams. Though industrial today, the area is framed by taiga hills, strong rivers, and low mountain ranges. For generations, the basin has shaped urban growth, migration, and regional identity, showing how geology can define an entire economic landscape. 16. The Bashkir-Ural region, birthplace of the honeybee legend. In the southern Urals, Bashkortostan is known for its rolling hills, limestone ridges, and dense forests. It is considered the birthplace of wild hive beekeeping, where honey is harvested from natural tree hollows, a practice shaped by the region's rich flowering meadows and forest ecology. The Shulgantash Reserve hides the Kapova Cave, home to Paleolithic paintings over 15,000 years old. Bashkiria intertwines ancient landscapes with enduring cultural traditions. 15. The Selenga River Delta, gateway to Lake Baikal. Flowing from Mongolia into Russia, the Selenga is the largest tributary of Lake Baikal. Its expansive delta of wetlands and reed beds acts as a natural filter, helping preserve Baikal's renowned clarity. The area hosts cranes, raptors, and other rare birds. As the meeting point of Mongolian steppe and Siberian forest, the delta plays a crucial ecological role far exceeding its size. 14. The Pechora River Basin, a northern wilderness. The Pechora River drains northern European Russia before entering the Barents Sea. Its basin includes the virgin Komi forests, the largest untouched forest in Europe and a UNESCO site. Dominated by spruce, fir, and larch, these ancient woods support reindeer, bears, and elusive forest species like the Siberian flying squirrel. Indigenous Nenets and Komi communities still herd reindeer across this vast, quiet wilderness. 13. Kamenaya Mogila, Russia's Stonehenge of the steppe. In the southern Russian steppe, Kamenaya Mogila is a sandstone outcrop rising abruptly from flat grasslands. Inside its crevices lie thousands of petroglyphs more than 5,000 years old, depicting animals, rituals, and early belief systems. Often compared to Stonehenge for its cultural significance, the site stands isolated amid endless steppe, making its sudden appearance even more mysterious. 12. The Shantar Islands, hidden gems of the Sea of Okhotsk. The remote Shantar Islands in the Sea of Okhotsk are surrounded by powerful tides and near constant fog. Despite the harsh climate, they serve as a sanctuary for bowhead and gray whales that feed in nutrient-rich waters. The island's cliffs, sea stacks, and dense spruce forests create an atmosphere of wild isolation, one of the most untouched island groups in Russia. 11. The Dagestan coastline and the Caspian cliffs. Along the Caspian Sea, Dagestan's limestone cliffs drop sharply into deep blue water, forming one of Russia's most dramatic coastlines. The region's geography is astonishingly varied. Mountains, steppe, and desert-like plains lie close together. Sulak Canyon, one of the deepest in the world, showcases the power of erosion. Ancient cliffside villages and rugged terrain make Dagestan one of Russia's most visually striking yet least known areas. Before moving on to the top 10, remember to join the geography family by subscribing to the channel and leaving your like. 10. The Klyuchevskaya Sopka volcano, the fiery giant of Kamchatka. Klyuchevskaya Sopka, rising 4,750 meters, is the tallest active volcano in Eurasia and one of the world's most symmetrical cones. Its eruptions frequently send ash high into the atmosphere and pour new lava over existing fields, constantly reshaping the landscape. Part of the extremely active Klyuchevskaya volcanic group, it attracts researchers despite the harsh, helicopter-only access. Its continual growth, tremors, and fiery activity make it one of Russia's most powerful natural forces. 9. The Stolby Nature Reserve. Forests guarded by stone giants. Near Krasnoyarsk, the Stolby Nature Reserve features thousands of tall volcanic rock pillars rising above Siberian forest. Many reach more than 100 meters and have been carved into fantastical shapes through millennia of erosion. Since the 19th century, local climbers known as stolbists have developed a tradition of free climbing these formations. The combination of deep taiga and surreal stone towers creates one of the most distinctive landscapes in central Russia. 8. The Valley of the Geysers, a wonderland of steam and color. In remote Kamchatka lies the world's second largest geyser field, home to more than 90 geysers erupting on their own unpredictable schedules. Steam clouds rise above green valleys, and mineral-rich pools shimmer in bright colors. Although a 2007 landslide buried a portion of the valley, new geothermal features later appeared. Due to its isolation, usually reachable only by helicopter, the valley remains one of the planet's most pristine geothermal wonders. 7. The Curonian Spit, a 98-kilometer sand dune miracle. Shared by Russia and Lithuania, the Curonian Spit is a narrow, almost 100-kilometer-long ridge of sand between the Baltic Sea and the Curonian Lagoon. Some dunes climb up to 60 meters and shift constantly under strong coastal winds. Pine forests, wetlands, and rich bird migration routes coexist in this delicate ecosystem. Fishing villages scattered along the spit reflect centuries of human life in a landscape dominated by sand and water. 6. The Manpupuner Rock Formations, mystical towers of the Urals. Hidden in the Komi Republic, the Manpupuner formations consist of 7 huge stone pillars up to 42 meters tall, sculpted over millions of years by erosion. Their isolated position and unusual shapes have inspired legends among the Mansi people, who consider the site sacred. Reaching the plateau requires long treks through untouched wilderness, and the sight of the pillars rising from the tundra feels otherworldly. 5. The Crimean Mountains and the view from Ipetri. The Crimean Mountains form a dramatic wall between the peninsula's interior and its southern coast. Ipetri, famous for its jagged teeth, is one of the region's most iconic peaks. Its summit is shaped by powerful winds and offers sweeping views of subtropical forests and deep blue bays. The range also hides canyons, caves, and waterfalls, creating an exceptionally diverse environment at the crossroads of mountain and sea. 4. The Uvez Nur Basin, a frozen desert shared with Mongolia. The Uvez Nur Basin, straddling southern Siberia and northern Mongolia, is a vast depression of deserts, salt lakes, and wetlands surrounded by snowy mountains. Uvez Nur itself is extremely saline, supporting only microscopic life. The basin's isolation protects rare species like the Pallas's cat and the Siberian ibex. Its combination of icy peaks, dunes, and semi-desert plains earned it a shared UNESCO World Heritage status. 3. The Great Vasyugan Swamp, Russia's Okavango-like delta. Covering more than 53,000 square kilometers, the Great Vasugan Swamp is one of the world's largest wetlands, larger than many countries. Formed about 10,000 years ago, it acts as a massive natural water regulator and a major carbon sink. Rivers, peat bogs, and countless lakes interconnect in a landscape that is nearly impossible to traverse. Its immensity and ecological importance make it one of Siberia's quiet giants. 2. The Arctic coastline, Russia's infinite frozen frontier. Stretching along 5 Arctic seas, Russia's northern coastline is the longest in the world. For much of the year, drifting pack ice and ridges several meters high dominate the seascape. The region's tundra, frozen deltas, and scattered archipelagos represent one of Earth's last truly wild frontiers. As climate change alters sea ice patterns, this remote coastline is becoming crucial for scientific observation and environmental monitoring. 1. Lake Baikal's Ice Highway, a natural wonder unlike anywhere else. Each winter, Lake Baikal freezes into clear, glass-like ice so transparent that rocks and ancient air bubbles are visible far below the surface. The ice reaches over a meter thick and supports temporary ice highways for vehicles traveling between remote settlements. Pressure ridges, blue cracks, and frozen waves create astonishing natural patterns. No other lake combines such clarity, strength, and vastness in winter. After learning these 50 facts about Russia, tell us, which one did you like best, or which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Let's see how many of us chose the same fact. And if you think we've forgotten something or want to add your own interesting tidbit, we'd love to hear it. Your feedback helps us improve each video. Also, if you noticed any pronunciation mistakes, thank you for your patience. We strive to improve with every video. And speaking of videos, there's another one playing right now so you can continue exploring the geography of our beautiful world. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe and like so we can keep learning together. See you in the next one.